Hey friends, it's Brian again. Today is October 5th. It is about 5:15 a.m. right now, and I'm getting ready for my first big track day at Gingerman Raceway. I'm in Chicago right now at work. The car is loaded up here. I've had it here for about a week. I got back in town from Omaha yesterday morning, and we ended up spending the day just kind of prepping the car, doing a couple little things here and there. I think it's ready to go. We'll see. There it is in all its glory. Here is the shop. It's already loaded up on the trailer. There's the truck. Now we just gotta get the trailer hooked up to the truck and we can make our way over to Gingerman. Should be a little bit over 2 hours to get there, so we should get there around 8 a.m. and then we can kind of start going over the last minute things on the car to prep it, and then we'll hit the track. Alright, we are at Gingerman Raceway. I'm already signed in, got my wristband. It's on my other hand, actually. But the car's unloaded. They just finished the first session. The first session was an intermediate group, which is the group I'm supposed to be in, but I had to do fuel adjustments in my car, so I sat that first session out. That first session is just pitting right now, so I believe the advanced group is going out next, and then after that, novice, and then intermediate again. 20-minute sessions. I think there should be 7 sessions throughout the day, so that's a lot of seat time compared to the first time I was at that autocross.
Are you fogging, dog?
Yeah.
Right on set.
Alright, so we're gonna stay the inside of that blend line all the way out. Stay all the way around the blend line, that is good. You have the out behind you, you can run it by if you want. All right, guys, I just finished my first session out on track. I got all those nervous, tingly feelings out of the way, so it was really fun. One thing I didn't notice on the car, under left-hand turns, I had a vibration, pretty intense one in the front right. So by the time we pitted and looked at the tires, I noticed that the fender was actually touching the tire. I did a poor man's roll, took the jack handle out, and just kind of pulled the fender out a little bit. Other than that, JR and I went into the club room, and we kind of just went over the track. Talked about shifting. Basically, my car's in third and fourth gear this whole track, so not much shifting going on there. We discussed a few points on track that we need to focus on. Again, it was a little bit slippery out there. The track is still a little bit wet, but I'm adjusting to it. The car temps are getting up there. Tires are getting stickier. I dropped the pressures down a little bit, so stay tuned for updates. All right, we just finished the second session after lunch, and I'm in the North Tower with my friend John Raymond.
Howdy, I'm an instructor, been racing since 2005, instructing since 2010. It's my home track, Gingerman, so I was the lucky one that got chosen to help Brian out with some learning, and boy, are we learning a lot today.
So last session, I took it 4 off. I went off-roading in the swamps, and JR is gonna talk to me and explain about why that happened. Unfortunately, that footage was lost. I think the battery shook loose in the GoPro, so I don't have that footage, unfortunately, but we're gonna talk through it right now.
So to recap what had happened, we come through the bend, we have the car nice and straight, the car is now neutral. We start to load up, we turn into the left, we go into fourth gear, car starts to push out wide, we're skidding out wide, we're holding it just fine, and as we're skidding, this inside tire over here drops off into the dirt, car starts to come around, it hooks, we come across the track and back into the pond. And that's turn 9 at Gingerman Raceway. Coming over here into what is turn 9, we're carrying a good amount of speed through 8. You've got this transition here where it's straight, remember?
Yep.
This is where we've decided now that we're going to be upshifting into 4th, and the car goes from being loaded to neutral, and then we turn in. So now the car's balanced, it's not too upset. If we're turning in early, which is right here before this curve, the problem is the car's gonna wanna push out wide, which is what we were experiencing earlier, which is why in the first couple of sessions, we ended up catching that car. Remember, we had a lot of opposite lap going into turn 9. So the next thing we can do is we get that car straightened out on the right-hand side of the mini straight here.
I see.
If you get it straightened out there, if you turn in late, it'll still be okay because you have all the track to come across. You can apex this little kink right here, and then you should be all right. You don't have to get all the way to the inside. You stay out wide through here. You're able to apex this bit, and it goes straight into your brake zone. What happened when we went off is we shifted into 4th. We turned in late, but the problem is our geographical location on the track hadn't changed. So we were still wide. We turned in late, but we didn't go all the way to the inside, so now we're out wide, we're already pushing wide, we're pushing further and further and further. What ended up biting us in the ass is the passenger rear wheel dropped into the dirt when it was loaded. If you were going straight, it wouldn't have hurt anything, but those 2 right-hand side tires were loaded. All the G's were being absorbed by those tires. It was just pushing on that right-hand side. As soon as that tire hit the dirt and lost all the grip, that's when it started to come around. It snapped on us, and that's when we went around back the wrong way off in turn 9. So moving forward, what we'll do is we'll continue to get our shifting done here. We'll continue to get into 4th gear. We'll get the car straightened out, so all that weight transfer goes neutral, right? The car is now balanced.
But I want to be on the right side of the track.
We'll try and get towards that right side.
Got it.
So then when we turn in, instead of turning and hugging the track, we're actually going to go a straight line from the right side over to the left side towards that rumble. It's hard to envision on this graphic here.
Right.
But what we're gonna do, we're gonna stay on the right-hand side. There's that little strip of curbing right here, right? Then we're gonna go straight line to that curbing, and we're not gonna hold it. We're not gonna hold tight to the left-hand side. We're just gonna get over there, and we're gonna let the car start to track out. Because if we hold it tight, now all of a sudden we gotta hold all of this tight right here, and then we gotta hold this tight. The car's gonna push out wide. So what we'll do is we'll get through this straight shot, we'll stay towards the right-hand side, we'll all the way on the outside, then we go into the right, then we'll start to turn left, Apex that, we'll let it start to come out. We should end up right about here. We're ending up there anyway. But the problem, if we turn in later and we just apex it, we don't hold it there, our geometry is going to be different. Instead of being out there because we're facing out there, we're going to be out there already aimed towards the inside. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That way, instead of fighting, oh, now I got to turn more, we can actually load the car up again and say, all right, now we're going to go into the left.
So it's almost like you're breaking it up into like multiple different.
Right, so we can actually consider turn 9, which is this, as 3 different corners, right? We've got turn 8, which is the long sweeping right-hander. Mm-hmm. And then we got that little straight, which we're going to shift into 4th gear. We'll shift into 4th. We'll make sure we're towards the right. And then once the weight and everything is neutral, once the car feels planted, then we're going to turn into the left. We'll come into the left. We'll just get towards those rumbles. We don't have to hug them. We're not going to stay on them. We're going to let the car track out. You can see there's a bunch of lines. That's actually like a white section of the track. It's just from the cars just running constantly over. It's just where the track and pavement's all worn out. Get all the way out there. We can come in apex this. And that should line us up here so we can see the left-hand side of this brake zone. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What we're doing is we're also carrying a lot of speed in these bends. We're going faster and faster.
Yeah.
An option, and it's not an option, it's what we're going to do, is we're going to slow our entry speeds, not by a lot, but just enough so we're lifting. We're using the power now to track out, which is good. We're getting more comfortable with the track and more comfortable with the car now that we've been at this for half a day. Mm-hmm. Now what's happening is we're carrying so much speed at the exit of the corner, we're now catching the car. We should never be catching the car on purpose. We should be catching the car because we accidentally carry too much speed. I don't want to go into a corner and then plan we're going to catch the car on the exit. So what we'll do is we'll lift off the gas, we'll go to 4th, get the car neutral, and as soon as the car is centered, it's not too loaded on the right, too low on the left, then we'll load it up, we'll bring it into the left, we'll touch that apex, let the car come all the way out, and we shouldn't be scrubbing. If we feel that the car is going to slide, you don't have to come off the gas. But instead of being 100% throttle, let's back off to about 80% throttle. The car should be planted, and then back to 100% throttle. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. So our adjustment would be, would we just lift in turn 8 then? When you first initially make that right-hand turn, transitioning from 8 to 9 to that straight, should we? Because I was about 80-90% throttle.
Right.
So would it be better to just lift there?
It can be. It depends on the chassis. See, I don't know a whole lot with your car. What you can do is you can short shift, which is what we kind of are doing here already.
And then I should just lift in that little straight shot.
Yeah, so get into 4th, breathe, turn in, and then roll on that throttle.
Okay.
If what you're going to do is you're going to stay pinned through 3rd, go into 4th, and you're pinned again, and then you start to turn in, especially with that front-wheel drive car, not only the front 2 tires steering the car and taking the majority of the load, they're also now powering the car. You're now asking a whole lot from the front end of that car. Take away some of what you're asking, get it into 4th, breathe off the throttle, off the gas, turn in, and now that it's set, now we add more and more throttle.
Okay.
So instead of being at 100% throttle, we can back off to 80 if it starts to push, and then back to 100. It's all that modulation that you're going to feel in the car. If it starts to feel like it's walking on you, you can start to let off a little bit, give a little bit more as it starts to get more planted towards the exit over here. And you should be able to carry a good amount of speed all the way through this bit right here as well.
I didn't even think about shifting and then just letting it coast after you shift. Because I was getting into it, when I would shift from 3 to 4, I would just be back in it and then try to modulate and adjust from there.
Sure.
But just you mentioning that, just throw it in a 4 and then just let it do its thing without any throttle at all.
Yeah, just let the car balance
figure
itself
it out and then go like that. It just opens a whole new window for me.
Because the other option would be to leave it in 3rd, but the thing is you're going to be banging limiter in 3rd, and then you let off the gas, you turn in, and now you're banging limiter again.
Right.
So it'd be better, which is the same thing actually here as we're coming out of 6 and 7. As we continue to pick up more and more speed through here, we're going to need to start reaching for 4th. Now this is very common, especially in Miatas and whatnot, where you will literally just bang limiter in 3rd, or you can go to 4th, but by the time that you get your foot back on the power for 4th, you got to downshift into 3rd again. It's one of those iffy situations where I recommend for this one, because you're going to be in 4th over here, no matter what, get it to 4th, breathe off that throttle, get it set, and then roll on that throttle, apply more and more gas as you come all the way around the bend.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a whole lot more sense now. Because it was really jumbled up before for me. And now that, we laid it out, it totally makes sense to me now. Steven, what do you think?
Oh my god. I think it looks great. Great success. It's been a beautiful day at the track. It's really nice out right now.
If y'all didn't know, Steven is the one who designed the BV Speed logo and brand itself.
Hi guys.
This is the man behind the computer.
What's up? I'm free.
So Steven, if they want anything done, where can they find you?
You can find me at Steven Poon. That's STEPHENPOON.studio. Spelled exactly how it sounds. And then also my Instagram, which is Steven G Poon. So STEPHENGPOON is that's my handle on Instagram. So just follow me there. I do photo, video, and design stuff. So yeah, I did a design for Brian's car. Super cool super excited about that. And just want to come out and hang out and do some video and photo this weekend and immortalize something that's already been immortalized. So that's it.
Heck yes, brother. Steven's like, I think you are like the best fucking photographer that I know. Like, no joke, my guy.
You're making me shine.
No, so if you guys need anything done along those lines, seriously hit up this guy right here. It's my man's.
I love it. Thanks, Brian. Brian's one of my best friends and really appreciate everything that I've had the opportunity to do for and with Brian. So honestly, it's just doesn't feel like work ever. Just good times hanging out with my favorite people in the world. So and doing my favorite kind of thing. So yeah, that's it.
Heck yes, brother. Well, we're pretty much done for the day. I probably should turn around because the sun behind me, you can't see me, but that was the last session for me. That was the last session for the car. I'm surprised it actually lasted the whole time. It didn't like full-blown brake on me, so that's good. I can drive it onto the ramp under its own power, so that's a win for the day. I think we're gonna head back to Wisconsin, drop the car back off, drop the trailer off, drop the truck off. So it's still gonna be a really long day, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully more track day stuff to come. This is the last CGI event of this year, I think.
Yeah, it is. It is. Fortunately and unfortunately.
And I think it's gonna be the last event for my car this year too. It's got a bunch of things I need to go over or go through and redo and add and change, but I hit my goal. My goal was to just do one like full-blown track day.
I mean, this isn't a race car. It's not a track car.
Yeah,
it's a trainer car.
Trainer car, exactly.
You did some training.
Yeah. I did some training. Look at this training. Look at that training right there.
That's some training.
Look at that here. Look at that training. But hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like the video, please like the video. If you guys want to stay up to date with everything, please consider subscribing. YouTube's been a crazy adventure, so I thank all of you guys who are following me now, and you know, all I want to do is inspire people to build their own cars, drive their cars, you know, all that stuff. So, well, that's a wrap. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.